All right, welcome to It's All Relative. We getting right into it. I'm Relly, and we are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think this is episode 8. It's so hard watching this division and the way that it's playing out. This Drew is terrible acting. So let me get this right. Shamea says what she says about Portia's mom. Do I think it was the wrong time? Absolutely. And I think the part that we're missing is Shamea's thing is I think Shamea keeps checking, like, can it be recovered? And more, I think Shamea finds out that Portia was never her friend. She was friend to Portia. Portia was not her friend, and it wasn't what Shamea thought it was. I don't think that Portia was really I don't think Portia was really a friend to Shamea, evidenced by the fact of this. You can't be best friends with someone and say, like, to Shamea's point, like, we were like sisters. I was at her wedding, she was at my wedding, and then say, oh, well, she can't be around Pilar, or Pilar, I don't want Pilar around her because if, she don't like me, she would hurt my kids. When you are sisters and when you really fool la la with one another that way, that's not true. That means if you can't trust her now, that means you can never trust her. I am not in communication with my mother or my father. And I have never said I don't want my kids over there because I think that they would hurt my kid trying to hurt me. And any of my friends that I have called sister or brother in that way, that we were just so close, that we were that tight, that, as tight as Portia and Shamea supposedly were, that I would say I had a problem with my 8-year-old child going over to their house because I'm nervous that they would do something. So I think that Shamea took great offense to what Portia was saying. And the fact that she's like, I think she was checking to make sure that can it be saved? But if you think that I would hurt your kid, then that tells me everything I need to know, and get ready, buckle up, buttercup, because here we go to hell and to war. And this is a prime example of what happens when people really do too much. And what do I mean by too much? If somebody, let's say, pokes you with a knife and then you come back with a sawed off shotgun, nobody talks about what started this fight. Nobody talks about that. All they talk about is the way in which you responded, which is why, right, the response has to match the threat. And in this instance, the women are saying the response didn't match the threat. However, I am a fan of, if we go to war we go. And what you know about me and what I know about you, like, let's do it. Blow for blow. Come on. Thing for thing. I'm ready. Rattle them off. And so now Portia gets to be the victim and go, oh my goodness, can you believe what she said? I can't believe what she said. So you were extremely distraught and you went on to party. And it was okay that you were partying and turning up and you didn't need decompression then. And so Shamea went, cooled off, got herself together, and then came back to what? Keep the party going. And now you need to leave. And now it's a problem that she's here. But it was a problem. It wasn't a problem when you were turning up. And it's very clear. Cynthia, we are watching you take sides. And again, I believe K Michelle was supposed to be in this as well. Because like I said, the clam reference let us know. And it wasn't Shamea that told Kay, according to Kay. So that had already come up. And the way Drew is moving, evidenced by the fact that you were beefing with Drew because Drew was filming with Dennis. Let's also remember and not pretend like we don't recall when Portia had a problem that Dennis was filming. And Portia's thing to Dennis was exactly that. Why can't I just have this? So Portia has been very clear and communicating to the people around her that she don't want them on her show. We have watched her in the beginning seasons. We watched her being asked to Lauren. I thought Lauren really, I didn't know Lauren was her sister the way that they were behaving. And so for people to go, no, that's not true. That's very true. And we watched last season when Shamea was on that she was moving funny. Portia was moving funny. You show up to your best friend's party all late, it was there. So while you maybe said it with your mouth, your actions told us a very different story. And the fact that now all of this, you are going out of your way to just fall out and make Shamea the enemy. Now, that episode aired last Sunday, and then Portia, I saw a post, maybe it was that Sunday, that Monday, like, I just watched it again and got mad and just want to say she's doing da, 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 da. So if she was doing that, why wasn't that your comeback? Your comeback was, oh, well, your mother, did X, Y, and Z. And again, so now Portia didn't choose to take the high road. That's not what happened. Shamea dropped the bomb. Portia retorted to said bomb, and it didn't hit the way that Shamea's did. It wasn't as bad. And that's because I don't think that people believed it. And whether Miss Diane did or didn't, the other part is this. That's all before y'all were, whatever. Y'all were not there. You don't know. Y'all were not in those grown people's business. So we can't say y'all are each going by what your mother said, what your mothers said. The truth is in there somewhere, but we don't know. So that could be the case. Both things could be true. So what? And when going to war, again, I'm talking about your kid, I'm talking about your mother, I'm talking about your father, I'm talking about your dead grandparents, I'm talking about everybody. And whatever you say about me, you get to say it. I'm not going to fall to pieces and go, oh, kids are too low. It's expected in war. So I'm also very confused about why this happens. So then Shamea apologizes, and that's not enough either. And it's true. If Shamea hadn't apologized, y'all would have nailed her to the cross for not apologizing. If she wouldn't have shown up, oh, you see, she just can't move past things and just come and put it behind her and have a good time. She cannot win. She is it. You all have decided that she cannot win. And this is nothing but the group, the popular girls and the girls that want to be in a part of the It Club. That's all that it is. Drew, and nobody likes to be on the outside. Drew was on the outside last season, so she don't want to live there. Again, Drew's beef allegedly stems from her calling Shamea Portia's lapdog. So that's their beef. Their beef was because of Portia. And now Portia has decided, oh, Drew, I'll grace you with my presence and I'll bring you on the inside of the Cool Girls Club, and you don't want to be without it. So, and that might not have been last year, it might have been the year before, whatever the case may be, you look like a lapdog when Shamea was just on the side of what's right about K. Michelle when you sang at the national anthem. She wasn't being a lapdog. She was explaining what Kay's issue was with you. And I think a lot of people agreed. And you looked crazy in that moment. So it's okay now. Like, that's what this is giving. And it is disturbing. So now Cynthia, like, I didn't realize you was holding on to that much. Well, neither did she until she started letting loose. So what's the problem? That's what it is for her to face whatever the reality is and call a thing, excuse me. So, and that's my thing. Well, then they're showing the timeline. So if at the reunion they said they were going to squash it, and then Portia goes and talks about Shamea's mom when Shamea's mom is in the hospital, and she just hold it, and then she throw it out. She throw out her, big joker at the spades table. Now it's, well, I thought you were gonna I thought you were going to get rid of it. Well, she did, but Portia started it. So again, Portia poked. After the agreed upon truce, Portia has something to say. And so she poked Shamea, and Shamea came back with a sawed-off shotgun. And now, Portia, you are falling all over yourself. And the destiny swapping thing took me out. So I had to go look up. I was like, what is destiny swapping? Because it seemed like she was insinuating that Shamea was obsessed with Portia's life. And the people will find out it was Shamea that was married to Gerald first, and that it was Gerald that had the real wealth, and that Portia seemingly was messy about how she got with Simon. Now, whether she was really in love with Simon or not, Shamea had that life first. So I'm confused as to the destiny swapping and this idea, like, again, are you saying that Shamea wants your life? Shamea seems to have been aspirational, and yeah, destiny. And I don't even know if I want to say destiny. I want to say you put yourself in certain positions that maybe both of y'all was just out and about and trying to see and do and be, and it turned out how it turned out, because I absolutely was watching a Paul Mooney special, and Portia, you were in the camera, you had gone out. Now, I'm not insinuating anything about anything. I don't know. And that's just really the truth. But the destiny swapping seemed like it was that you were insinuating that Shamea had done something to try and get your life. I don't think that that's the case. And again, I think you are making money, for your family, so they're not going against you. Lauren is going to take your side. And then, everybody put a little spin on something. And baby, I put a little spin on something too when, if I'm repeating something. She didn't say that your mother slept with or tried to sleep with her father. She said that your mother tried to sleep with her uncle. Who knows? We don't know. So, but it does change it a little bit. But for the girls to act like, they need to fall all over themselves. And when Shamea is saying, yeah, but y'all don't seem to be paying attention to what she's doing, I would agree. And then she comes to the club, and then y'all go scattering. And really what it is you want her to feel shame and hang her head low. And the thing about war, and I agree with Kelly, Shamea, what the hell are you apologizing for? Stand on it. If that's how you feel and you said it, you stand in it and on it, and throw some other shit. So when, again, just recently, like last week, Portia's like, oh, Shamea is really doing this, that, and the third. You know that now she's doing that, or she was doing that then? Because if she was doing that then, why you didn't throw those, why you didn't lob those grenades after she said the thing about your mother? And listen, both of y'all know each other's tea. So it's terrible when best friends break up and go to hell. Cause I believe both sides, right? I do. Um so there's that. There's the truth. There's a little truth to all of what the best friends are saying. It ain't everybody ain't just telling no bold-faced lie. They seem to insinuate this dude George being on camera um that Angela wasn't lying and saying that Shamea and George were sleeping together. But the only way why would George, having a wife, and the wife had to say something to George. We're not gonna play like Ashley wouldn't have said something to George. Like, why is Angela asking if you slept with Portia? The last thing he want to do is go on national television and say, yeah, I slept with Portia. I'm sorry, I slept with Shamea however long ago, and they're still talking or whatever. And maybe if that's the case, if it was before Ashley, but to insinuate that Shamea is cheating on her husband with this dude George, I just don't see it. So I don't know. And that's the other thing. I'm kind of not liking Pinky. I'm kind of not liking Pinky in this. And again, I can appreciate Pinky wanting to be neutral, but it don't seem like she's as neutral. And And maybe Shamea's not doing herself any favors. I don't know, with the constant apologizing, but um I think it's difficult when you feel like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you don't apologize, they got beef. If you do apologize, which is why I say Shamea just stand in it and go to hell with them. Kelly stayed on Portia's neck. And I couldn't understand why. It didn't even seem real. Like, why this it seemed like manufactured one-sided beef. It was wild. So if you've got everybody in the group, or damn near everybody in the group, coming at you like that, or thinking you're a problem, I think that is hard to navigate and maneuver. And I think that there was a plot. And so I think Shamea can't win for losing, but I'm okay with it. I really am. I'm okay with it. I think it's like when Spice and Erica Mena were going through. I thought that Erica Mena should not have been suspended. I think she went to hell. I think that's it. I think what she was saying, like, I think all is fair. The name calling, when we start name calling, we name calling. Let's get to it. And wanting her to be culturally sensitive. I mean, right? Because black mean, whatever. I think that she meant her skin color. Yes. So I think it was, excuse me, I think it was a colorism thing, and that's a real thing. Potomac has talked about it, and nobody got removed off the show. So, like, cut that out. Should she have known better? Sure, but she was talking about her kids. So I think if you're talking about my kids and my mothering, then I'm coming for everything that I know that you have a problem with. And I think maybe Spice in the past had talked about having some issues. So fair game. Come on, and I'm gonna sling it at you. That is war. That's what y'all want, right? And by y'all, I mean society. Society says that it's okay that you get to do that. I mean, right? I talked about baddies. Baddie says you can even put your hands. I don't agree with that, right? But I think if we're sparring verbally, then let's spar. And if we go into hell, come on, let's go. Um, but I don't think that it's okay to pick and choose when we can have outrage and be outraged, and when we can't. I think the selective outrage, I think that's what Shamea is asking for, is to stop with the selective outrage. And I would agree. I 100% believe that Portia absolutely had a problem. As a matter of fact, when they met, when they show the flashback, I remember thinking at that meeting, Shamea really did seem to want to fix it, and Portia was not having no parts of it, and just was like, you don't get to talk about this, and certainly you don't get to talk about this on camera, and let's move along. I think that their friendship had been fractured. And the truth of the matter is, I don't understand when Portia's like, well, she tried to do wrong by me, or she was talking bad about me. I think she didn't know how to approach you. I think that she's conflict avoidant, and I think you are very dismissive of her feelings. I think that that is the nature of your relationship. So I think it takes her a while to feel comfortable and strong enough to come and say what she has to say to you, because I do think she did care about the relationship, and I think it's very much showing that you don't and you didn't. I think that's the issue. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So she was having issue in the relationship, but to villainize her for not knowing how to come to you and going to other people, I think is not fair. Um, and the things that you all decided that you weren't going to discuss, on camera, I think she was trying, but I do not like this. This is ugly. This does look like bullying. Um, and it looks like, she was a part of the inner clique, and now Portia has decided that she is being removed. And so this is about social, like, what do I want to say? Social clout, social capital. That's what it's about. Portia is now the in girl. So you want to be on her side. And this is what it looks like to be on the outs with people, and people that have power. And Shamea, you just have to learn how to stand on your own island. You and Kelly seem to have something, and you and K Michelle seem to be growing something. So, you know, I don't think you and Angela are ever going to have it because Angela has decided her loyalty is to the in crowd. Angela want to be on the in. She don't want to be on the out because she was on the out last year. And that's what you're fighting. And it's unfortunate. Kay is an interesting character. Like, she's interesting. I really like Kay Michelle. I think that she has sometimes limited viewpoints. I watched her interview with what's his name, Jason Lee, on the Jason Lee show, and I was like, oh, celebrities, they're just like us. This is why we have to decide that, like, they don't know what's best just because they have money, because they need to clear some things up. And the way that she talked about getting married to Caston, her relationship with Caston, the way she views relationships, I think all of that needs work. I think there is so much deep down in there that she doesn't talk about and nobody challenges her on because she's got a slick mouth, um, and because she has money. I think that is what it looks like. She has a great deal of work to do. And nothing bad because we all have our work to do. So I'm not talking bad about her, but I'm saying watching that interview just showed me, yeah, this is why we shouldn't put celebrities on pedestals. Money isn't the end all be all, and they still have issues and problems, and concerns and dark feelings. And the fact that, she talked about, so a couple people at the table said that they had been faced with life or death, and, hers was the most visible. And that's okay. And it's good that she's sharing and getting it out, right? But that is something that still moves her. Um, and I was just watching Shipwrecked. It was so good. You guys should watch it totally. And tell me what you think. Tell me if what was your takeaway from it. I should put that on that video, but like, we're here now. You know what I mean? Um so yeah. Um and I appreciated and that's what it looks like, I think, for Kay, like when she played everybody's song so everybody could sing and do their thing. So it was, oh, how's Shamea gonna come in here and sing the song, and oh, so how's she allowed to be happy after she dropped that bomb? And but it's okay if now you if she's unhappy and in the room sulking, and you have the best time ever and turn up so that you can come back in and key and laugh about the amazing time that you had without her having it. P.S. Wasn't Kelly's McDowell's outfit the cutest? I want one right now. Give me a McDowell's hat, please. Where do I get one? I want it desperately. I want a McDowell's. I want the vest. Give me the McDowell's hat and the vest, please. Where do I get one? I already know how I want to zhuzh it. So, ooh, I can't wait. Um, so I think like those were my major takeaways. I'm so disappointed in Cynthia. I expected more because she usually is neutral. And she said, if it had been the other way, she definitely would have said Portia was wrong. And I appreciate that. But I think there's a way to let people handle it, but every to each his own. But it just seems like it's out of loyalty and not out of fairness. If it's, well, I'm ready for them to wrap it up and let them do what they do, then why involve yourself and choose a side? If you sick of them fighting, let them fight and just don't involve yourself. I don't want to hear about it. And everybody keep the itinerary that they need to keep, but people are choosing sides, picking and choosing sides, and that's what I think is terrible. But Kay did a really great job of including everyone, and that's what it looks like to be rise above the drama and above the fray. So I really did like that. That was good. Those are my takeaways. I'm not going to make it extra long. All right. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think about this Portia Shamea thing? Is when you're fighting, is it, all bets are off and we just doing this? But with my sisters, if we stop beefing, my sisters still are going to talk to my children. I'm still going to talk to their children. And really is that, don't nobody care that your mother mad, or don't nobody, and that's between me and her and y'all, my nieces and nephews, and all the things, like, we're cut that out. And so what does that imply? So that's really, I think, what set it off. And I'm okay with it Because I think at that point, Shamea was like, oh, bet. You think I'd hurt your daughter? Because that says something about me. That's not even, if you think that I'd hurt your daughter, or you're saying, well, I mean, you got beef with me, so I don't know. Portia, you are weaponizing your daughter, and not, you trying to flex and whatever with my daughter. That's a reach, Portia. And that was that. She said, well, the good thing is I still get to have relationship with, in her eyes, her niece. What are we talking about? Her godchild, her whatever, because the kids ain't got nothing to do with it. So what are we talking about? I would never hurt someone, and you know she would never hurt your child. She got children of her own. So again, if you think that she would hurt Pilar, especially Pilar is 8, so she can say someone hurt me, someone pinched me, they treated me differently. She could say all of those things. So I think that I think Portia, you're full of BS. I think you're just using it as an excuse to try and hurt Shamea. And if that's what you're doing, then right, like let's sit in it, let's own it, and there's just that. Anywho, again, let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you later. Bye.